What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 12 of my Tottenham Hotspur Let's Play here in Football Manager 2017. And today I have you guys an end of season livecom special. We have 2 games left against Swansea and Watford. We're going to be livecomming the entirety of this end of season thing, but I do of course, want to fill you in on what you missed since the last episode. And well, last episode was the games against Barcelona. Since then, a bit of a mixed bag. We lost 2-1 against Stoke. Yes, not ideal. Stoke right at the bottom of the table. Afellay scoring the winner in the 88th minute. I thought we'd grabbed a draw somehow, because if you look at the stats, we were awful. Unfortunately, however, Stoke played to the whistle. They got a win there. And, well, in our remaining 2 games, 2 fairly good results. A 4-3 win against Burnley was nice, albeit a little unconvincing. And towards the end of the game, Burnley looked like they may even grab an equaliser. And then in our next game, we beat Leicester 2-0. A Berahino penalty and an Alderweireld goal from a corner. The difference there, although when you look at the stats, as you can kind of see, we were the better team in that game, I think it's fair to say. So anyway, 2 games left of the season. We take on Swansea and Watford. Just to kind of set the scene, I guess, of how this season is lining up. We currently sit in 2nd place. We are 2 points behind Manchester United, who will be playing later than us today. And if we just look at their remaining games, they are going to be playing Hull City, who are right at the bottom of the table in 17th. And then they take on West Brom, who are currently 5th. So that may well be a tricky tie for them. And I'm hoping West Brom can perhaps do us a favour or two. As you can see, Ibrahimovic, of course, still injured. Mkhitaryan still injured. Looking below us in the table, really, we've secured 2nd at this point. Both Southampton and Sunderland, who are now in 7th, have drastically dropped off the pace. They just haven't had the legs to maintain a title campaign throughout. And well, you can see here, looking at Southampton, they have not won in their last 6 Premier League games. They've had some pretty tricky ties, I think it's fair to say, but regardless, disappointing there. Looking perhaps slightly lower down the Premier League table, Chelsea have in fact been relegated. I've got to be honest, one of the most bizarre football kind of seasons I've seen in Football Manager this. I know some people are going to pin it down and say, oh, it's because it's the beta, weird stuff happens in the beta. I don't know what caused this. Southampton obviously in 3rd is a surprise. It's not perhaps as weird, the league, as it once was. When you consider ourselves, Manchester United and Man City are likely to finish top 4, that's fairly normal. I guess Southampton, the outliers there, but that's not necessarily unheard of. But Chelsea doing what I'm going to refer to as the reverse Leicester. Realistically, it's kind of a challenge I might be interested in at the end of the season, really, to manage Chelsea. And I know there's going to be people who probably want me to continue on as Spurs in this save. But the idea of taking over a Chelsea side in the Championship is a little bit tempting, if I'm honest. But, of course, we're going to focus on the here and now and the task in front of us. We are the outside favourites, I think, in this 2-horse race here, really, to beat Man United to the title. They've got that 2-point advantage. Of course, we need to get 2 wins, really. We need to apply the pressure, and, well, we're going to try and do that initially with this game against Swansea. Looking at our team, Lloris in goal, Danny Rose, Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Danilo as our back 5. In the centre of midfield, Eric Dyer's finally back. He's been playing a few more games as of late, but of course he's had a pretty poor season when you consider he's been out for around 3 months with injuries, a dislocated shoulder and strained knee ligaments, both after Christmas. So it's been nice for him to have a little bit of a run in the first team. Alongside him we go with Dele Alli in the deep line playmaker role, a player who really has come on leaps and bounds so far this year. Christian Eriksen is back from his knee injury that he's been kind of suffering with on an ongoing basis, which is good. Hopefully he can really step up for us today. Out on the right hand side, we're going to play Saido Berahino, the young Englishman. Been a very good player in his first season, I think it's fair to say. In the centre attacking mid role, we go with Eric Lamela. And up top, we go with Harry Kane, who he slowed down his goal scoring a little bit of late as Harry. 25 goals now in 31 Premier League games, but still 37 for the season. If he could hit 40, that would be one hell of an achievement, but he's going to need some top performances in these big games. So anyway, let's get into our first game against Swansea here. Of course, this season, if we don't win the league, it would probably be considered a failure in some ways, if I'm honest. That might be a harsh way of looking at it, really, considering that the board expectation was to finish top 6. And, well, we look like we are going to now finish top 2. Well, we will finish top 2 unless things go drastically wrong. But I don't know. I feel like to not win any silverware in your first season is always just a little bit kind of demoralising, even if it's something as minute as the EFL Cup. Of course, in the FA Cup we got knocked out against Liverpool. In the EFL Cup, I can't remember who we got knocked out to now. I just remember it wasn't a particularly massive kind of big team. It was a team that perhaps we should have beaten on another day. Of course, in Europe, Barcelona is always a tough game to win. And in the Premier League, we do have, as I've already kind of alluded to, an outside chance, but we do need to perform very well here. We are away from home, not going to be easy against Swansea. They are struggling in the league, however, and I'm hoping that we can kind of capitalise on that in today's game, as we do actually win the ball here. Danny Rose to Ericsson, Dele Alli now in the middle, options to his right, brings the ball forward, lays off to Lamela, who's trying to find Harry Kane, can't find him at the first time of asking, takes it around a few defenders, almost squeezes in the shot as well. Fabianski, nice little stop by him, but what would have been an incredible goal by Lamela, really, having taken on so many men in the box there. But the scores remain 0-0. I mean, this is going to be an anticlimactic episode if we fail to win this match, because it leaves us in a situation where we're relying on Hull to beat Manchester United, or we don't have anything to play for in the last game, which wouldn't be ideal. But we've been gifted a penalty, which is very kind. I think it was Key, the South Korean player, and now it's going to be up to Berahino to step up from the spot. Can he bang it in? Of course he can. Number 18 gets the goal for us. 10th goal of the season for him. A very good total, really, for a player who's not necessarily been a nailed-down starter. And, of course, a win in this game would see us go top of the table, albeit with Manchester United playing later on today against Hull. So we kind of want to apply some pressure in this, the lunchtime kickoff. I believe the Hull v Manchester United game is actually the 5 o'clock game, so there will be the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well to contend with. I'm not sure if Southampton are playing in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. I kind of assume they are. Of course, if they slip up, or in fact if we win this game, we are guaranteed a top 2 finish, which would be an amazing achievement. There's no real kind of two ways about it. I don't know. Going into this year, top 4 was really the aim. Top 4 in a cup run. We've not really had that cup run, which is a little bit of a shame not to really reach a semi-final in anything too major. But the quarter-final of the Champions League is nothing to be scoffed at, and if we were to finish second, that's good enough by my standards. I feel like that would be a successful year. And, well, with Ericsson scoring another goal here, we look right on course to do that. That's Ericsson's 10th goal of the season as well. So everyone getting their 10th goal, it seems, in this match. Looking at this goal, a nice little chance. Lamela plays the ball across, and it's Ericsson squeezing it in there. Nice finish. Keeper, difficult stop for him, I think it's fair to say, from that kind of range. Couldn't react quick enough, and, well, the ball finds its way into the back of the net, and it looks like at half-time we're going to have a 2-goal lead, and it's going to be relatively comfortable, although I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch, because Swansea are on the attack here. They might have a chance. Correa and, well, Lloris. Got to do better. Joaquim Correa for them with the goal. And, well, that 2-goal lead has, well, it's not hatched. It's a sad reality. I've counted it, but it's not hatched. And now I have one less chicken, and it's 2-1. That got deep real quick. Right, 4 minutes left. Can we get anything in the end of the first half? Unfortunately not. It doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. But 2-1, still not too bad. I'm still going to tell the players I'm not that happy. Disappointing to concede that late goal. Want us to remain kind of switched on going into the second half of this game. As much as a win would be great here, it'd be nice to win in a semi-convincing manner, considering the fact that Swansea, they're not the strongest team in the league. To put it kind of generously, they've not been particularly impressive this year, and I expect us to beat them a little bit more comfortably than 2-1 and show a little bit more in the way of quality in the final third. Harry Kane really not had a very good game. I'm going to bring on Janssen. I'm going to give the Dutchman a chance up front. It's a frequent move I've made, and it feels like most live comms when Harry Kane doesn't kind of fire on all cylinders, I do make this change, and more often than not, to be fair, Janssen has made a contribution, and whilst he hasn't started many games this year, this is the kind of game where he's usually come in and you know, taken a few chances that perhaps fall his way, and we're going to be looking for more of that from him today. The Dutchman, number 9 up top for us. Either way, Swansea with the ball here, playing it up to Llorente. He's got runners off him out wide. Can we stop the ball coming away? We can't see Jurdsson. Going to play it through to Barrow, who's through. Interesting effort by Barrow there. Smashes it well wide of the mark. I think he may have even sliced the shot there. It went a good 10 or so yards wide of the mark. A really poor effort by them. 20 minutes left in this game. Set piece for Swansea. Whipped in. They hit the woodwork. Can we deal with it? It goes over the crossbar. We kind of deal with it. Not entirely convincingly. I'm going to just switch and be a little bit more defensive. It feels a little bit odd, perhaps, to suddenly decide, right, let's just kind of not necessarily park the bus, but just sit very, very deep here against Swansea. But we've been in a situation like this before where we've ended up kind of throwing away leads, and I don't want it to happen again. So I'm going to tell the players to play more direct, just sit a little bit deeper. Let's just see out this game. There's, what, 20 minutes left? We have a very good side defensively, and I'm hoping that we can show that defensive resilience today as well. They are going to have a chance here. Corner, back with Key, who's perhaps got a point to prove having given away the penalty. Now with Jack Cork at the edge of the box. Goes to Carvalho, and well, that amounted to nothing. And I don't know why I was shown it. Answers on a postcard, please. Carvalho now comes off for Stephen Kingsley. So they are perhaps looking to just push the issue a little bit more now, Swansea. They're going to be going a little bit more on the attack. We are, of course, playing defensive, time-wasting, using the dark arts to our favour. And, well, we might be able to hit them on the break here. Janssen crosses it to Berahino. Janssen with the ball again. Only Berahino in the middle, but he is there. And he finds the back of the net. No one in support. We are playing extremely conservatively. Our midfield making no effort to get to the edge of the box. But ultimately, it's come up trumps for us. And, well, that is an important goal in terms of just settling the nerves a little bit. As you can see, midfield making a massive effort to get in. They're currently sat, what, 40 yards away from goal. Berahino, really, he has no reason to score with 6 men inside the box alongside him. But he does find the back of the net. A nice little intelligent run by him, the striker. And that should hopefully see us through this game, as Berahino might even get another chance. He's fouled again. He's got a chance for a hat-trick. I think that was Fernandez giving that away, and now Berahino from the spot. He wants his hat-trick. He hasn't had one yet this year. Can he get one for his collection? The number 18, already 1 goal from the spot. Can he double his tally? He hits it. Fabianski does a move, almost gets a touch on it, but can't stop the power that Berahino generated, and it flies into the roof of the net. And suddenly, in switching to attacking, or sorry, defensive, I look like some kind of genius because we've got 2 goals for it. And, well, the game is very much done at this point. 4-1 it is. And, well, with 1 game left, we apply some pressure to Manchester United now in their game against Hull. There is a degree of expectation, I guess, that they will beat Hull. And, well, hopefully Hull can do us a favour, I guess, in the later kickoff today. 4-1 it finishes. Very impressive performance. I don't feel like goal difference has the potential to become a factor in the title race. In fact, it may well do, actually. If Manchester United draw this game, they'd be ahead of us on goal difference. So, it might hold some bearing. So we might want to keep an eye on our goal difference. But that result definitely helps us out. Berahino with a hat-trick. Fine performance by him. I will quickly just give him a little bit of praise. And then we will continue on forward and see how Manchester United get on in their game, because they're going to take on Hull, as I've kind of already said a fair few times. We've got Watford in our last game, which isn't going to be easy. They are in 6th place, but we did beat them last time we met them at Vicarage Road, and I believe that was with 18 games gone in the season, and at that point, they'd won 12 and drawn 6. They were actually unbeaten. Now, Watford's form since Christmas, it's taken a little bit of a tumble, so hopefully we can get a good result there. Looking at it here, Manchester United beating Hull 4-0. El Mohammadi not really doing us any favours, and unfortunately that goal difference is going to be massive, and well, really we are going to be looking for Manchester United to well and truly balls things up, as they will be taking on West Brom in a week's time. So we'll continue forward to that. Hopefully we're not going to have too many news items to get through. There was a point in time, I think during FM14 or FM15, where I would kind of quite frequently in longer live comms kind of commentate this kind of period between games. I always feel like I'm experimenting with the format, I guess, of my videos, but one thing that I've kind of feel like developed over time was the fact that this kind of period here isn't always that interesting. I can only really talk about what's in front of me, and the other thing I guess to consider is that when I'm talking, when I'm trying to have a good conversation and kind of provide good commentary and good insight, it frequently means that, you know, I'm not necessarily paying attention to what is going on my screen. Looking at Watford, predicted to perhaps play a 3-4-3, or they may play their 3-5-2. We know they're vulnerable to playing our system, although the narrower version seems to be more effective. We had success last time we met them with the system that we're playing now, so I'm quite happy to stick with that. But no, let's continue forward. The game is on a Sunday. It's the last game of the year. Everyone's going to be playing at 3 o'clock. Berahino getting in the team of the week. That's pretty good for him, the 23-year-old. Nice to see him have a little bit of a breakthrough there. Of course, it's nice for a player to get a hat-trick. I feel like when you get 2 goals from the penalty spot, it isn't quite as perhaps impressive as it otherwise would be. And, well, we're going to have our last game of the season. It's going to be the last home game as well. And, of course, White Hart Lane not got many seasons left in it. Of course, new White Hart Lane very much underway and a work in progress now in real life, as well as, of course, in Football Manager here. I believe the move is set to happen at the start of the 2018-19 season. I don't actually know that much about the project, to be honest, so if you do know anything, I know I do have a few Spurs fans who are going to be watching this series. Please feel free to fill me in down in the comments. I actually used to live not far away from White Hart Lane for a while. Story time with Jack, by the way, whilst we wait to get into this Watford game. But yeah, I used to live on Silver Street, which is a train station only one down from White Hart Lane on that line. So yeah, I used to live on Silver Street, so that's fairly good. We've got a load of players asking about new contracts. Just going to tell them we can't afford it. That's a lie, by the way. We can afford to pay them more, but I don't want to. But they're understanding. If you want to get by in life, the secret is to lie, apparently. Just lie to everyone. Right, Lloris rallies the troops ahead of Sunday's match against Watford, declaring that Tottenham can still win the title. We're relying on Manchester United to slip up, and, well, anything can happen. Hopefully, a win for us and a loss for United, that'd be good, wouldn't it? I mean, one can dream, I guess. But no, going to be a big game here against Watford. And, well, just hoping, really, that we can come up on top. Verratti's been really kind of tipped with a move to United. I guess this is one of the transfer saga things. But it feels like every other day I'm getting told about Verratti going to Manchester United in my save. You know, you've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic trying to swing him into going to United and joining him and all sorts. Right, 2 hours to kick off in game time. We're getting there. I don't know how to feel about this. It's a bit of a weird situation because we're guaranteed second, which should be an amazing achievement. But I kind of want to win the title, but it's probably too far gone at this point, which is a real shame. You can see at the bottom of the table, Chelsea on 31 points. What has happened to them? They could easily finish bottom if Bournemouth get a win. Is there much being played for elsewhere? I guess here, actually, looking at the top kind of four, still very undecided. You know, if West Brom were to beat Manchester United and City slipped up, that would see West Brom leapfrog Man City. Of course, Man City meeting... West Brom meeting Manchester United, so they've got it all to play for. We're taking on Watford, who themselves are going to be looking to perhaps get that 5th place spot, although I know that Watford won the EFL Cup, which I do believe comes with continental qualification anyway, so actually 5th, not the be-all or end-all for them. But anyway, looking at our team, do I want to change much from last game? I don't feel like I really do. I feel like it was quite a good performance all in all. It wasn't, you know, an incredible performance by any means, but we know that Watford and their kind of free at the back system does tend to struggle with the kind of shape that we're playing. So I'm hoping that can work into our favour. Of course, we've got to be wary of Igalo and Deeney. I'm just going to try and encourage the players, tell them that, well, I've got faith in them and I'm hoping that they can put in a good shift for us here. The fact that the title goes down to the final day is always a little bit exciting. We'll make sure we have the latest scores up on our screen so we can just keep an eye on that. I will put that here in the bottom left. And we'll also put in a live league table, I think. Unfortunately for us, goal difference really a problematic kind of factor for us in terms of the fact that our goal difference ain't that great compared to United's. And, well, now we find ourselves a goal down, which is less than ideal. I mean, if we both lose today, that's going to be pretty bad. But the first goal on the final game of the season goes in favour of Watford. It was a set piece that we didn't deal with, and it's Barami actually finishing it off in the 6-yard box. It was a nice finish, really. But, I mean, it's not how we envisioned this game to go, is it? Really. 10 minutes gone, we find ourselves a goal down. Pereira, the Argentine, whipping the ball into the box. And it's just Barami, back post, gets his blonde locks onto the ball, nods it goalwards. Lloris, no man's land, really. Needs to have more command of his area, and if he's going to come and get that, he needs to be getting it. And now Christian Eriksen with a calf strain. Not ideal. We are going to have to take him off because it's not really a player I can afford to risk. I'm going to bring in Son and play him out on the right-hand side. Manchester United still 0-0 in their game. Of course, a fight back for us is what we need now. A draw, not enough. We need 2 goals at least. And, well, we need to push on and hopefully make something happen in this game. As you can see, as things stand, Manchester United will win the title by 3 points due to the fact that they are, of course, drawing. And, well, we are not winning or drawing, but we need a win. So, How long left? 55 minutes. The fact I'm counting down how long left is not usually the greatest sign. I need to have a big shout at the players at half-time. This has not been good enough so far. West Brom, they're kind of doing us a favour in terms of the fact they're holding United for as long as they have at the moment. But no, I need to get shouty with the players. I need to have a go at them. I need to get them riled up. Come on, boys. Show me a bit of desire, please. It's been a tight game. No, neither team really performing incredibly, if we're honest. It's been a little bit drab. You know, that early goal from a set piece, nothing other than that. And, well, as this game progresses, we're going to need to commit more and more men up the pitch. In some ways, I kind of hope United just win, so there's like no regret in my mind about, oh, you know, if only we'd played a little bit better. I'm going to make a few changes here. I'm going to tell our fullbacks to push on a little bit. I'm going to look for us to play less kind of around the defence. But I do want us to up the tempo just a little bit as this game goes on. Of course, we're going to have to commit men forward, and I want to do so here. I kind of feel like with the three at the back system that Watford use, and with the wing-backs, having our full-backs push on just a little bit might help us double up out wide and perhaps even be able to craft out a few opportunities there. 25 minutes left of the game. It's Watford with the ball here. United's game still 0-0. It's Holbass here with the ball. Lays it off to Watson now with Kapue. Tadini, Igalo stood on the final man. Always got to be wary of him. Pereira dispossessed nicely. Now can we get the ball forward? We now need to try and counter and hit them on the break. Lamela bringing forward the ball. Harry Kane, options in the middle, gives it to Dele Alli, who has now Berahino. Out on the right, there's an option in Son. Berahino, I mean, it's ambitious, isn't it? To be fair to him, it's incredibly ambitious. And, well, the ambition has not paid off there at all for us. Anyway, we've got to go more attacking. We've got to start, you know, pushing the issue that little bit more. So we'll see what we can do here. I want us to try and exploit the flanks. I feel like that's probably a good idea with the system that we're playing with the wing-backs overlapping. But, of course, the more we go on attacking, the more we are going to leave ourselves susceptible on the break, perhaps, to this Watford side, which does possess great speed going forward. And it might even not come down to that, or might not even come down to that, because they are going to get another. It's 2-0. The dream is probably dead at this stage. United v West Brom, still 0-0. Still 0-0. I mean, a draw, it's worth noting that if that game was to end as a draw, we would have to win, I believe, 6-0 or 5-0 to stand any chance, or win by a 5-goal margin, which was never really going to happen. We always needed West Brom to win. And unfortunately for us, they're not really doing us any favours, and we're not doing ourselves any favours either. It's been pretty poor all around this game. Unfortunately, the Eriksen injury kind of ruined my plans, I guess, a little bit in terms of going into this game, what I was hoping for us to achieve. But, well, 10 minutes left here. We need to score 3 goals. We need a win. Simple as that. It's going to be Danny Rose on the overlap. No options in the middle. Where are they? There's Berahino. Hits the woodwork. The rebound cleared away by Cathcart. And perhaps that was a late route back into the game. Manchester United go a goal up. That's the end. We might as well close this all. Game over. Manchester United win the title on the final day of the season. We were not good enough here against Watford. We didn't necessarily bottle it, because even if we'd won this game, it wouldn't have been enough. Unfortunately for us, you know, a few defeats against lesser opposition has cost us today. The fact we didn't beat United in either of our meetings against them in the league, you know, another reasoning behind, I guess, our lack of success there. So that is going to, well, mark the end on this season. Eriksen out for 2 to 3 weeks. Doesn't really matter because the season comes to a close. And, well, the Premier League ends with Manchester victorious and, well, United victorious and ourselves in second, unfortunately. All in all, though, not a bad first season by any means. Really impressive performances by Harry Kane. Berahino certainly chipped in, as did Son and Eriksen. It'd be nice to maybe get another goal scorer in the team. I feel like that's still an area where we're perhaps a little over-reliant on Harry Kane. In terms of assists, fairly well spread out, which is nice to see. Of course, in FM16, fullbacks were a little bit good and always seem to get all the and get all the assists. You can see it's really been a mixed bag this year. In terms of average ratings, Vertonghen's had a very good season, definitely an underrated component of our team. Of course, he's got 1 goal and 1 assist and 5 player of the matches across 35 league games for us. He's played 47 matches in all club competitions this year. Alderweireld as well, perhaps an unsung hero. And Danilo, one of the few signings that we made this year who actually frequently played in the first team. A 7.16 average rating for him in all competitions. Certainly it's not kind of mind-blowing, but it's a nice solid contribution during his first time, kind of his first Premier League season. And hopefully he can kind of build off that. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me. I would love to know down in the comments, would you like to see me take over Chelsea in the Championship, or should I slog things out with Spurs? Now, please understand these episodes are recorded in advance. I've not made a decision myself yet, but I feel like it's going to be my decision to make. Do I want to try and do something crazy at Chelsea in the Championship? Do I want to, completely rebuild Chelsea, maybe bring in an all-English core and rebuild them from the ground up? Or do I want to continue the project we've got here at Spurs? A young squad, one of the youngest squads in the Premier League, and well, we finished second this year. A great achievement, of course, one better than what Spurs managed in their real 2015-16 season where they finished third. Always good to finish above our London rivals too. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Please do let me know. If you've enjoyed this season, please smash the like button. It's greatly appreciated. If you've got any additional thoughts of anything related to Football Manager 2017, of course, feel free to leave them down in the comments. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. It is me, Jack. You've been wonderful, and hopefully I'll see you for another season here on the channel. I'm out.